Today, we're bringing back 15 R&B songs from 1967 you might have forgotten, but your heart definitely hasn't. Maybe you remember a few hits from that summer, but some gems slipped through the cracks. Number 15, Your Unchanging Love by Marvin Gaye.
I'm gonna hold on.
This one came at a crossroads for Marvin. 1967 had him moving between sweet Motown polish and the deeper emotional weight that would define his later work. Released on Tamla, the song didn't break as big as his earlier hits, overshadowed by Motown's massive year of chart toppers, but listen closely and you can hear the blueprint for the Marvin that was coming. The backing arrangement has that signature Motown swing. Tambourines bright like sunlight through a kitchen window, bass lines rolling warm and steady, and Marvin's voice gliding with a quiet ache.
So in your arms, I'm gonna settle down.
Steady, yearning, hopeful, even when tired. Word is, this track was recorded during sessions where Marvin felt torn between the stage persona Motown shaped and the deeper artistry he was pushing toward. You can almost hear that tension in the breaths between the lines. Today, it's a reminder of Marvin on the verge of transformation.
Honey, 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 the way you do. One more thing.
A treasure sitting just outside the spotlight. And speaking of overlooked gems, our next one brings the smooth groove right back to the dance floor. Number 14, Soul Finger by the Bar-Kays, released on Stax. In the spring of '67, Soul Finger was a young band's joyful explosion straight out of Memphis. The Bar-Kays were barely out of high school, recently signed as the new house band under the mentorship of Booker T and the MGs. This track started in the studio as a playful warm-up riff, a joke really, and someone suggested, "Let's lay it down." Then neighborhood kids were brought in to shout and cheer over the groove, giving it that rowdy street corner summer feel. What makes it unforgettable is its attitude. Loose, brassy, funky, and bursting with youthful confidence. No lyrics, no love story, just pure movement. You can see the record spinning in a basement party, the floorboards shaking under dancers who didn't care about tomorrow. Tragically, this joy arrived just months before the plane crash that took most of the band, marking this track as both celebration and memorial. If that was pure dance floor fire, the next song slows the lights down low, real low. Number 13, Ain't That Lovin' You for More Reasons Than One by Johnny Taylor. By 1967, Johnny Taylor had just joined the Stax family, stepping into the legacy of gospel-tinged soul with a voice that could soothe or slice straight through the heart. This track wasn't one of the big crossover hits of the year, which is why so many folks let it drift into the dusty corners of memory. But listen again, and it feels like a slow-burning confession whispered across decades. The production carries that warm, slightly gritty Stax texture. Horns glowing like the last streetlight on a quiet block, organ humming like a steady heartbeat, and the drums laid back as if they're listening along with you. Taylor sings with a tenderness that feels lived in, like he's been through love, lost it, and came back wiser. Rumor has it this song came together late in the studio after hours, lights low, engineers tired, but nobody leaving until the emotion cut just right. And if that was intimate and smoky, The next one brings in a little swagger and a whole lot of sweet soul charm. Number 12, I'm Wondering by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, I'm wondering, little girl, I'm wondering.
By 1967, Stevie was in a moment of transition. No longer the little Stevie child prodigy, but not yet the visionary auteur of the 70s.
Little girl, I'm wondering, how can I make you look?
I'm Wondering sits beautifully in that in-between space. Released on Tamla, it didn't climb as high on the charts as his bigger singles that year, which is why many folks let it slip from memory. But listen closely, and you'll hear Stevie beginning to shape the soulful curiosity and emotional honesty that would later define him.
Like a puppet to a string, to you, girl, I'm attached.
The song is bright, playful, almost like a smile set to melody, with hand claps bouncing, horns swinging, and Stevie's voice sparkling with youthful sincerity. Yet underneath the joy, there's a subtle ache, a young man unsure where love stands, asking the questions he's not brave enough to speak aloud.
Can't stop loving you, no, I can't stop loving you, baby.
This was Motown cafeteria energy, hallway guitar riffs, laughter between takes, the sound of an artist emerging into himself. We've had sweetness. Now, let's step into something a little more dramatic, a little more heart-wrenching. Number 11, I Don't Wanna Cry by Ronnie Dyson. Ronnie Dyson was just stepping into his career in the late 60s, known more for stage work and vocal promise than chart-topping hits. I Don't Want to Cry didn't get the same spotlight as the Motown and Stax giants dominating 7, but it holds a special kind of quiet storm energy.
I was so serious.
The kind that creeps up on you and lingers. The arrangement is soft but tense, strings curling like smoke, drums brushing lightly like someone pacing across a dim room. Ronnie's voice has that trembling clarity, the kind that sounds like someone trying so hard not to break in front of you.
Welcome to my job.
It's not dramatic heartbreak. It's that private kind, the kind where you keep your voice low so no one hears you cracking. This one played late at night on slow radio stations, car radios dim, windows fogged, the world outside far away. It's a memory more than a hit, but memories stay.
Open up the door, girl. Please, just open.
And if this was the quiet ache, the next track adds a little fire back into the room. Number 10, Sweet Sweet Baby, Since You've Been Gone by Aretha Franklin.
Baby, sweet baby.
1967 was the year Aretha stepped fully into her crown. Fresh at Atlantic Records, working with Jerry Wexler, she was no longer being molded, she was leading. While the world remembers Respect and Chain of Fools, this track, released later that same year, sometimes gets overshadowed in the glow of her biggest anthems. But Since You've Been Gone is pure Aretha power. Gospel-rooted, piano-driven, full of love bruised and love burning. You can hear the church in every phrase, the breath before the note, the slight growl at the peak. The way she bends a line like she's wringing the truth straight from her chest. The Memphis musicians behind her were playing like they were following her, not leading, not holding back, just responding to whatever spirit she summoned in the moment. This was Aretha in her blossoming era, confident, expressive, singing not to impress but to testify. If that brought the fire, the next one brings us to a velvet sweet slow burn, one made for leaning close under dim lights. Number 9, When You're Young and in Love by the Marvelettes.
There's magic everywhere.
By 1967, the Marvelettes were veterans of the Motown Machine, one of the original girl groups that helped define the label's sound. But the spotlight was shifting, with the Supremes rising and newer acts crowding the charts. So this song, recorded with all the sparkle and sophistication of Motown's golden studio days, often gets overlooked. The production is a dream. Soaring strings, gentle tambourines, and that perfectly pocketed Motown bass line carrying everything like a heartbeat. Wanda Young's lead vocal is soft but certain, tender without being fragile. She's not belting, she's remembering. And that's the magic. This is young love captured not as a fairy tale, but as that warm, dizzy flutter in your chest when everything feels possible. The kind of love that makes the world seem bigger and safer all at once. It was a chart modest success, but emotionally timeless. It still feels like prom night under soft lights. If that was youthful and floating, the next one hits a little deeper. Love with some miles on it. Number 8, Tell Mama by Etta James.
Sing, tell mama, tell mama, tell mama.
By 1967, Etta James had already lived several musical lives. Blues shouter, jazz interpreter, one of the fiercest voices on chess records. But Tell Mama was a comeback moment, recorded down in Muscle Shoals where the room air was thick with cigarette smoke, hot amps, and musicians who didn't need sheet music to find a groove. This song moves. It's part plea, part warning, part don't play with me. Etta's voice cuts through like a knife wrapped in silk, raspy on the edges, pure flame in the middle. The horns stab in all the right places. The rhythm section stays low and mean, and the backing vocals slide like a knowing nod from across the bar. Behind the music, there was tension. Etta battling personal struggles, a tough industry, and her own storms. And you can hear that lived life in every phrase. When she says, "Tell Mama," she's not just singing. She's letting the door swing open and the truth spill out. We've had grit and fire. Now, let's ease into something warm, romantic, and quietly powerful. Number 7, Everybody Needs Love by Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Say you wanna be loved.
In 1967, Gladys Knight and the Pips were still a little outside the main Motown spotlight. Respected, admired, but not yet crowned in the same breath as the Temptations or the Four Tops.
Let me kiss you. Say you wanna be.
Everybody Needs Love came before their big chart explosions, but it shows exactly why their moment had to come. The track moves with easy grace, not rushed, not showy, just true. Gladys' voice has that honey and steel quality, warm enough to comfort, strong enough to testify. She doesn't push emotion. She knows it, lives inside it.
Love, oh, love's alright.
Meanwhile, the Pips respond like only family can. Tight harmonies, perfectly timed echoes, movements you can almost see even without the stage. This song is everyday soul, the kind that plays while you're cleaning the house on a Sunday afternoon, windows open, sunshine drifting in. It's a reminder that beneath the heartbreak, the longing, the celebration, love is the thread tying it all together.
It's love, you need love.
And if this one felt like a warm embrace, the next track brings a rawer, more urgent kind of longing. Something deeper in the chest. Number 6, I'll Always Have Faith in You by the Staple Singers. Before the Staple Singers became radio staples of the early 70s, the Freedom Highway era, the Respect Yourself era, they were weaving gospel-rooted soul that felt like a warm hand on your shoulder.
Took his head, took his low.
I'll Always Have Faith in You, released in 1967 on Epic Records, shows the family right at that crossroads between church sanctuary and secular stage. Pop Staples' guitar is unmistakable, soft, tremolo-kissed, like a quiet voice speaking wisdom instead of shouting it. Mavis's lead vocal is both earthy and heavenly, rich enough to soothe and strong enough to steady you.
Can't sit down, I just got to heaven, I can't sit down.
The song isn't flashy, it's steady, grounded, full of trust and tenderness in a time when so much in America was uncertain. This wasn't a chart-dominating moment. It was something more intimate, a song passed hand to hand, house to house, through word-of-mouth love. The kind of record people held close when they needed reminding that hope doesn't leave. If that one lifted your spirit, just wait. We're only halfway through. If these forgotten soul gems from 77 are stirring up memories, go ahead and give this video a like. It truly helps us keep this music alive. And don't go anywhere. We've still got 5 more tracks that hit deep. Number 5, I'm Still Loving You by The Impressions by 1967.
It's alright, say it's alright.
The Impressions were already known for songs rooted in dignity, love, and quiet strength. Curtis Mayfield's pen was unmatched, able to write about romance, social change, and everyday resilience with the same gentle precision.
Oh, it's alright, now listen to the beat.
I'm Still Loving You wasn't one of the big radio anthems, which is why it sometimes slips from memory, but it carries a softness that holds you close. The track floats on clean guitar strums, steady drums, and vocal harmonies so smooth they feel like the inside of a warm memory.
And surely something's gotta come to you and say it's all.
Curtis doesn't beg or plead, he accepts. The love in this song isn't flashy or desperate, it's enduring, the kind that keeps the porch light on. This was Chicago soul at its most graceful. No edge, no bitterness, just a steady, patient heart.
So The Impressions, Hollywood go, remember it's alright, it's gonna be much more alright.
The kind of song that played on late-night AM radio while someone drove slowly home, windows cracked, city lights passing like slow stars. Now, if that was gentle devotion, the next one brings us back to the dance floor and back into full swing. Number 4, You Got What It Takes by the Marvelettes. Here's a second appearance from the Marvelettes, but trust, this one hits a different shade of soul. Released near the tail end of their classic Motown period, You Got What It Takes didn't shine as brightly on the charts as some of their earlier hits. By 67, the Supremes were front and center, and the industry machine was pushing newer acts forward. But this track shows why the Marvelettes remain one of Motown's most quietly influential groups. The production is playful, mid-tempo, full of bounce and charm, but the magic sits in the vocal delivery. Wanda Young sings like she's flirting with the melody itself. Light touches, sly smiles hidden between notes.
You made me feel better by leaving me a dollar.
The Pips-like backing vocals add that innocent, grin-inducing sweetness we don't hear much anymore. It's youthful romance, but with self-assured cool, like leaning across the back booth of a diner saying, I know what I bring, and you do too. This one feels like a summer sidewalk in 1907. Sunglasses, soda bottles, and the world opening wide.
More time for me, you better wait a minute.
And now, it's time to go deeper. The next track is a soul confession that moves from the chest straight down to the bones. Number 3, I Wish It Would Rain by The Temptations.
Please go away. A girl has found another and go.
Recorded in late '67 and released just as the year turned, this one came from a place of real sorrow. Lyricist Roger Penzabene wrote it while grieving the breakup of his marriage. And every line carries the weight of someone trying to hold together a heart that's already cracked.
Call so badly, I wanna go outside.
David Ruffin delivers it with that unmistakable ache in his voice. Not shouting, just letting the sadness sit heavy and honest. The production is classic Motown, strings swelling like gathering clouds, tambourines like raindrops starting to fall, and that deep, steady bass grounding the storm.
Oh, let it rain, 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 rain.
But what hits hardest is the emotional truth. This wasn't performance. This was lived pain. And when we say soul music came from real experience, this is exactly what we mean. It's the sound of someone standing at the window, forehead against the glass, praying for the sky to match what's happening inside.
The world outside my tears, I refuse to explain. Oh, I wish.
If this one was heartbreak laid bare, the next track is pure velvet. Love slow, warm, and steady. Number 2, Make Me Yours by Bettye Swann. Now,
Didn't start this group, but let me think back to 1967.
here's one of those records that lived on kitchen radios, summer porches, and neighborhood block parties, but somehow slipped off the mainstream memory shelf.
Precious, precious, precious baby of mine.
Released in 1967 on Money Records, Make Me Yours was Bettye Swann's breakthrough, a number 1 R&B hit that didn't get the long-term spotlight it deserved, partly because Bettye kept a low profile, more about the music than the fame. Her voice here is tender but assured, like someone who knows exactly what she wants and isn't afraid to say it.
That he makes me feel what I don't wanna feel.
The bass line glides, the guitar shimmers like sunlight on linoleum floors, and the arrangement has that warm West Coast soul feel. Soft, breezy, intimate. Behind the scenes, this song was recorded in a small Los Angeles studio where the air conditioning barely worked. Musicians sweating, tape rolling, everyone locked into the groove.
By this thing they call love, oh baby.
And when Bettye sings, I wanna be loved, it's not a plea, it's a promise. This one feels like leaning your head on someone's shoulder at the end of a long day. A quiet declaration that still echoes. But trust me, nothing prepares you for the heart that's waiting at number 1. Number 1, there is A Balm in Gilead by the California Soul Choir. Now, this one doesn't show up in the usual lists. It didn't tear up the charts. It didn't headline the radio spins. But in 1967, if you were in the right church, the right community center, the right basement gathering after a long week, you heard this song. And you felt it. This arrangement of the traditional spiritual was recorded by a rotating group of LA session singers who called themselves the California Soul Choir, many of whom also sang background on major Motown and Stax tours. No big label push, no crossover machine behind it, just voices, raw, close, human. The recording has that lived-in warmth, piano slightly distant, tambourine a little loose, hand claps that weren't meant to be perfect, just true. The lead vocal quivers in a way that tells you the singer wasn't reading the lyrics. They were testifying. 1911 was a turbulent year. Marches in the streets, new worlds trying to be born, old wounds being confronted. And in the middle of all that, songs like this carried people, quietly, steadily, without applause. Some music is meant to be heard. Some music is meant to help you breathe. This one, it was the breathing kind. And there it is. 15 R&B and soul treasures from 1967 that may have slipped from the charts but never truly left our hearts. From church house harmonies to dance floor joy and late night longing, this was a year where the soul was growing, stretching, learning to speak with even more truth. If you felt even one memory stir, one moment return, go ahead and subscribe. It helps us keep this music alive for the next generation of soul lovers. Up next, 15 most tragic stories of 1960s forgotten R&B stars. Click it on your screen, and let's keep the rhythm rolling.